NBA 2K26 builder is looking like it's fire. I'm so excited because they have a lot of potential and new features that is going to buff your build beyond what you can do. And you're going to get creative with it. And today I want to kind of help you along the way with that. I've been studying this heavily, already doing my math equations and comparisons, and I want to kind of bring it to you and show you exactly what I am feeling or thinking at the moment about it. So lock in, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment if you rock with me and you want more. This is the place to be. All right, so first thing I want to say is take all this with a grain of salt. The game is not out. The developers actually change a lot of different small details, like, for example, animation requirements. They've changed last minute, and other things that they basically don't change right away. And they'll change within even days before the game releases after community day and events like that. So you're familiar with that, make sure you take it with a grain of salt on like what requirements are possible or what isn't. We're going to take a look at the build that I am going to be demonstrating and showcasing. To me, this is the kind of build that you can have out there and go have some fun in 2K and do something crazy with, right? And basically, this isn't the exact version that I would make, but I just want to make an idea of it, right? This is a 99 potential setup with all his attributes the way they are. Basically can do some contact dunks, amazing shooting, nice playmaking, and then he's also got good physicals. Of course, not the best defensively, but a lot of point guards don't always run that depending on if they're playing competitively or just casually. For a casual tip, you don't really got to have much of anything. You can do whatever you want. But for this, I'm going to showcase exactly what it takes to make this kind of build in the current builder that we have. You're going to check out all the stats and then look at the build that I have and see the potential of what you can make as well. All right, remember, this is all concept and comparing different builds. Okay, so 6'2", with a wingspan of 6'5" and a 195 in weight. This is the build that he has on the game, but I changed a couple things. For example, I put standing dunks at 45, so you can get the standing dunks. And I would actually use 2 cap breakers to get this to 89. That way you're able to get more contact dunks. I'll showcase how in a minute. This right here, you can put this up to 99 to get a bunch of these badges on Legend. And what happens is you're going to be able to go crazy with the threes, even if it's low. And if you don't like that, you can go reverse and just put this on the 3, get a 94, and end up buffing it that way. Either way, whichever way you want to play, it's fine. As long as you got something at a 99 with your cap breakers, you'll be fine. Okay. Secondly, I would get this to 96 to get basically unpluckable name, and you're good to go. Plus Steve Francis dribbles. The passing we could talk about later, but basically, as long as you have 78, you get visionary, which is really nice. Speed with ball, you're going to use a max +1, and you're good to go. And then defensively, you just want to have challenger to contest. Some of these badges here will help with that. Now, again, speed, you want to be very fast, so you can go on fast breaks. You can help out in contest shots. You're not going to steal or block too crazily, but you're going to be able to contest. Ability specifically is to have shifty shooter and be able to have a couple of these other badges in the game. Strength, again, physical finisher, strong handles, and immovable enforcer, very helpful for guards. 87 for reverse, so you can get some dunks. Right? And this is pretty much the build. This is what you're gonna want to do more or less. Make it. You could tweak some things. Like I said, I would probably use my caps on the 89 so I can get the contact dunks. You don't have to. It's up to you on whatever you're feeling. We're going to go ahead and make the build for a second, strictly to show you animations and give you an idea of the potential. And then I'm going to get into breaking this down, because you got to remember one thing is that there's new max +2s and cap breakers even bigger and better than ever. So for example, I would put on Steve Francis right here for the signature size ups. I would go to the dunks, and I'm going to be able to unlock this dunk right here, which is a really good one hand, but off of 1 foot. contact dunks, and then you have the standing dunks, 45s. Then you can put on even more dunks, which I did not put on. Zach LaVine that I really like. A couple of good ones in here. I like John Morant's dunks, and we'll have all of these. Malik is right here. I love him. Monk is the best, one of the best for this value. There's a bunch of decent dunkers that you can throw in there. You got the alley-oops and contact alley. And that's the build as far as more or less what to do when you put on all this stuff. And you're going to have pretty much any dribbles at the end of the day, and then great shooting. Going to be a lights out style build. All right. So now we're going to go back to the actual build that we got and talk about why I think, this is pretty much the same as last year, because I pretty much made the same replica with a little better setups to be able to dominate the way I want to dominate and control the game. So you're not changing much on this part of the game. But the thing is, guess what? We're going to go crazy this year because they actually have a new system. So if you looked into the system and you've seen the brand new stuff, like these max plus ones, plus twos, those alone are changing your build drastically. This means that everything I already have and that you just saw is going to go crazy. Okay. So I don't have to max everything out. Going to be able to get unpluckable on legend. I'm going to be able to get launcher on legend. So my ball handling and everything will be crazy with this build. On top of that, I got contact dunks, great shooting. My defense sucks, right? Guess what? There's ways to improve your defense as well, right? So let's just talk about the specialization. Let's just make believe I made this build and I chose defense. I'm going to get cap breakers on defense. I'm going to get extra buffs on things for the defense, perimeter and steal. So I'll be able to go even higher, just like you can do with all these other things. They showcase it here. You get 9 goals, and each of the goals actually give you a new buff. So if you look, you get a cap breaker on each of them. And this is where, like I said, the potential of these builds will be insane once we get a chance to see all of the different elements. We only showcased the shooting, which sucks because I definitely wanted to look deeper into it. But I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of what that means. Okay. So here goes shooting right here. Okay. And if you see, you're going to get a very good shooting medallion. Then you got shooting boost, not a big deal. Then you get the cap breaker at 6. Okay. So automatically you're getting a cap breaker for whatever. And there's probably more in the beginning. The first 3 we didn't get to see. But right now, for this right here, I'm able to get a cap breaker for defense, finishing, playmaking, whatever I pick. On top of that, I get a badge, a max plus 1 badge at goal 7. So you're going to be able to do that for defense and offense, all that stuff. Then you get another cap breaker at 8. Okay, so just keep count. Then you get max plus 2 at 9. Okay, so once you reach all of these, the potential can be insane. Of course, I don't know the first 3 goals and the first 3 rewards, but knowing that you're getting 1, 2 cap breakers plus a max plus 1 and a max plus 2 permanently, and it can be for defense or offense or whatever the case may be. This is where what I'm saying is that the build that I made here can have crazy potential because I can turn up on my defense. Right? Let's just say I put a 60 on this. Say I drop a couple of attributes and just trying to rework the build a little bit in different ways. I start putting up my 60 just to have glove. And then all of a sudden I max plus 1 both of these, go higher. And all of a sudden a build that's a monster offensively somehow is getting great potential. Okay, so I would put this down to here, try to test how to lower some of these things, see where I can go with it. You want to basically lower it as much as humanly possible. Okay, I'll give you an example. And once I get to 60, I have unlocked intercept and I can get this up to 2 levels. All right, so I'm gonna have it on gold. All right. Just imagine the type of build you can make with that. And if I went up to 67, now I can do that with glove, whichever one I want. Okay. It doesn't take a lot. So all of a sudden, with a low level on silver, you got a Hall of Fame interceptor. Okay. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, this build is ridiculous. It's going to be ridiculous. And of course, you want to boost other things to make it more defensively. But having the interceptor on Hall of Fame, to me, on a build that's all offense, literally, I make a build like this just for fun to go crazy on the game. But I would love it because now I got interceptors. That means you don't want to pass around me. Maybe I'll go with glove, depending on the year and what the potential of the game is. Put it on one or the other. And this is where, like I said, these rewards for the specialization are going to change the game for you, help you really go nuts for the year. So yeah, make sure you lock in, subscribe, comment. This is informative and you want to stay with me, man. We're gonna got more coming all year. And by the way, I have a deep dive into specializations and potential of these builds. So make sure you go check that out on the channel. Hope you enjoyed. See you on the next one.